Morning, Steph. It's actually quite early. We're an early record. How you doing, mate?
That's why I look like I'm fucking gone for 10 rounds with Anthony Joshua or something like that. Yeah, I'm doing all right, mate.
Or Snoop Dogg, depending on what you want to think.
Well, yeah, and there might be Andy Joshua anytime soon as well. Either, bless him. Yeah, doing all right, man. Doing all right. A little bit tired, but
Yeah.
this is working. That's the important thing. The brain's working. But
Good,
how are
man.
you? How are you? Doing all right? Happy
Good.
New Year.
Happy New Year too. Yeah. As you mentioned straight away, my mustache is gone. Looking young again. Might come back. Everyone wants it to come back, so there you go. Maybe that was an error, but no, I'm good. Not looking forward to reality tomorrow, as we were discussing. But yeah, at least we can hopefully talk a little bit about Milan.
Yeah, but before we do that, I was speaking about your Tash actually. Just reminded me. Someone in the last video, I think, wrote a comment that like, I love your post match reaction, and you look like Zlatan.
I know. I shouldn't. And I read that last night. Yeah. And I still shaked it off.
Or like his partner, I think, wrote that. So you disappointed this gentleman. I can't remember his name. I'll have to get it up. But
sorry, mate.
How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that?
Really, I'm really sad. That's it. We've lost a follower, mate. Clearly, he's like, no stash. I'm out. No. All good.
You'll be happy to know my beard will stay continuously as it has been fixated to my face for the last decade and above. So yeah, I'll keep up the facial hair then for the channel. But good result the other day. 1-0, which all things considered, I think you wrapped up really well in the post match. It's a tough fixture. We've tripped up. We tripped up last year. I think when we drew 3-3 in the game, and it has been a game where I think when we qualified back into Europe the year season, we got a frustrating 0-0 draw away from home, or maybe it was at home actually against them. But like Cagliari are always a tough nut to crack sometimes, and they are in a good run of form, specifically with their the way that they play the formation, a typical side that we have dropped points through this season where they just let us have a bit of the ball. But then as you said, kind of in the post match, we didn't start well in the first half, and I kind of wanted to touch on that in this video because it has been a theme for me personally. I was watching the game, and I'll just go out and say it, like I think there's a balance here of game management, of course, and I think I'm not going to lose sight of that. I'm not critiquing Allegri of this, but the one thing that I'm watching these games, and I saw it with Cagliari, I saw it with previous games as well, the first halves are really poor, like really bad, and it's to the point where we could be trailing the game, which then the game plan kind of goes out the window. And like, when did we score the other night? 50th minute?
50th, bang on 50, yeah.
How many videos have we done where I've gone like, oh, I think Inter and Lazio, when we won 1-0 against them respectively, we scored within the 50th and the 55th minute. So like there is clearly a game plan here on how we can, I don't know, kill any momentum for the opposition team in the first half, and then translate that into, just being a bit more opportunistic and scoring goals in those first couple of 20 minutes into the second half. We haven't really had to use the final ends of the game to win games, unless we kind of like balls it up and it's 2-2, for example. But like it's almost as if like we do a lot of the shitty work in the first half, really come out a bit all guns blazing at the start of the second half, and then hopefully, like if we have to see out the game and the rest of the second half, we can, because we've conserved the energy. But it's that first half that really worries me, because it's ultimately like if we go down the goal behind, are we kind of playing with fire there? But yeah, it's kind of a bit of an open mind on how we're playing. And I don't know, get your thoughts of it, because obviously it's translating to results. We are, I don't know if we are top of the table. I think we're still top of the table.
We are still, because Inter play today. Yeah, Inter and Napoli. They play. Do they play each other? Am I right in saying that?
No. I think it's Inter versus. No, I think they're at home against Bologna, I want to say.
Yeah, okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, sorry, there would be more hubbub about it if it was.
Yeah, Lazio are home against Napoli, which is some big fixtures there. But Milan sits top of the table. I'm not going to critique the results, and I think I'm also, before anyone jumps on me, I understand this is what we signed up for with Allegri. Yeah, this is Allegri ball. This is not the prettiest football, but I don't know. There's a bit of me. I'm watching these games. I'm like, fuck me, man. Without Modric and Rabiot to really scoop up a lot the opposition's possession and recycle that into attack. I just think we play with fire quite a bit. And then there's other bits I want to get into, but before I do that, I kind of want to get your thoughts on how we play and your opinion.
Yeah, I think that very last comment you said is absolutely exactly where I do agree with you. The playing with fire, like obviously the most recent memory we can all think of is the Cagliari game. And I remember when I was doing the post match, and I was thinking, and even obviously watching the match in real time, you think, shit, that first 10 minutes in particular, if Cagliari had anything about them, like literally anything about them, we would have conceded 2 goals like instantly. Mm-hmm. It was really bad, and that was Estepinian in particular. I remember that I was like, that is such bad defending. Like the bloke's asleep, doesn't even track that anyway. So I agree with that, Steph, 100%. There's an element of we're lax, but the weird thing is for me, where I somewhat feel a little bit more confident, is we don't do that. And this is the answer I would love to know. The question I'd love to know the answer to is we don't do that against the bigger teams. We're not doing that level of idiotic defending or trying to kind of suffocate in that first half against the bigger teams. It's always against your Cagliaris, your Pisas, your Sassuolos, etc. I'm not justifying that, but I'm just saying that's what I see. And it is annoying because how on earth we went from one of the worst halves of football, not just from a quality of football, it was just awful to watch. It was crap. You know, Cagliari aren't very good attacking side. We offered nothing. It was boring, and we clearly didn't have a hold on to the game. How we went from that to what I think was one of the best second half performances we've had since Udinese, which is the best game we've had this season so far, where we comfortably suffocated them, did the game plan, had the goal, and just didn't let them touch anything. That's the bit I don't understand. How are we able to concentrate and do that for effectively 45 minutes non-stop, which is what we did after we scored the goal. We did 45 minutes, including extra time or, injury time, of perfectly managing that match. But why the first, in particular, I would say 10 minutes, but really it was up until the first half an hour. We weren't really in the game at all. That's the bit I don't get, Steph. So that's where I agree with you. Why is there such a balance? Is it tactical, like you mentioned? Not sure. So that's where my thoughts are. But I do agree. They're playing with fire a bit. That does annoy me because I think we are just genuinely doing this to ourselves, like out of no reason. So
yeah,
that's my thoughts on it, mate.
And that's the thing. And I think that's the thing. Like in the first couple minutes of the game, and it's not just the Cagliari game. I think that's the point to be taken into account here. Like I agree. It's like I mentioned before about like how do we phase our way into the game. I think that's the game management bit. But the bit you can't control is like you just can't control the opposition side getting moments in the game, and whether it be in the second half or the first half, or whether it be that we're happy for it to be in the first half, because if they do convert that, we have time to react and bounce back. Yeah, that might be the case. But then, as you said, that chance in the first 2 minutes where Palestra kind of puts the ball across the box, these are better players here. We're a goal down, but and I feel like there's an element of we are using that to I guess as a leverage to the game plan on how Max is setting the team up and going like, you're up against this. What's the likelihood of them scoring? And we'll take those kind of half chances that they might get their way. As we saw, Cagliari were completely burnt out by the second half because of doing the opposite, and they probably thought, oh, they're up for the killing here. We're going to go out and we're going to double down on it. And then we took advantage of that. So, I'm open to kind of the way that we're playing. But, you see, I'll give an example, and I think this is where like the next stage of the evolution needs to come. But we went away to Atalanta and we completely sacrificed for the whole game. And I think that's the word. We sacrifice a lot. And that's a big thing when it comes to winning games. And we speak a lot, quite highly on that. But there is a piece where sacrifice can only get you so far to win games of football. Specifically in big games, and we have done really well this year. But that Atalanta fixture sticks out to me. And I know it was quite early on, but we played so poor in that game. We literally scored within the 3rd minute, and we just sat back and let Atalanta completely look like they were divisions above us. Yeah, and you see Inter go. I think they went away to Atalanta. Atalanta barely even had a shot on target the whole game.
Yeah,